Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the second stream of the day. We got the Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. Game has not started yet. Set to start in a couple seconds, but should be a great game. The winner will go to San Francisco and play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm actually on before the game starts for once. It's a rare occurrence. But the Seahawks and Rams meeting for the third time this year. The home teams won the first two matchups. We'll see if that continues. I took the Rams 27-24. I think this is a great game. I definitely think we see a lot more points scored than the first game today. That ended 10-7. But I think we see some points scored. I think it's a very good game. But let me put out a poll. Alright, there's the poll. Rams or Seahawks? I think it's going to be a great game. I took the Rams. I just trust them a little bit more. They were my original prediction to win the Super Bowl. I don't really want to go against them now. So I took the Rams. But this is a very tough one to predict. It could really go either way. But the game going to kick off in a second. The Rams will get the ball first. So we'll see Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense. So Jason Myers has it teed up, and the Seahawks will kick it away to the Rams to start this game. Rams definitely over Seahawks. Time will tell. Hopefully higher scoring game over last game. Yeah. I agree. I think the Rams win. I think it's a higher scoring game, and I definitely want to see some points scored after seeing it being 10-7 on the AFC side of things. But the kick is away. Off we go. Last week, Seahawks game started with a return touchdown, and Whittington going to return this kick from about the 5, and Whittington crosses to 30 and no touchdown this time as he stopped at the 31. So Stafford and the Rams offense onto the field as they start the game with the football. Stafford did not play very well last week, but he has played well in his career against the Seahawks. He's got a 6-1 career record against Seattle. His only loss came this week in Week 16. Oh, that was a game the Rams probably should have won. They're up 30-14 in the fourth quarter, ended up blowing it, and then lost in overtime. So Stafford under center, and Stafford hands off Kyren Williams on the first play from scrimmage. He gains about 4, getting to the 35-yard line. But a solid start to drive for the Rams. A very solid first play from scrimmage. So 2nd and 6 here for the Rams on their own 35-yard line. Stafford in shotgun, got it back to his right. It's a high snap. But Stafford going to look to throw, and he throws that as well. What a catch by Nakua. Again, about 2 on the play, but that is a great catch. Stafford threw behind him, but a good catch, and it's now 3rd and 4. The Rams, a decent third down team, 17th in the NFL, 40% conversion rate. In the playoffs, they have not been too great, though. Stafford in shotgun, got it back to his left, and he'll look to throw here on 3rd down. Stafford throws up the seam, it's incomplete, trying to get it to Nakua. But very tight coverage there for Tariq Woolen, and it's 4th down. And the Rams will go 3 and out on their first drive. Oh, he almost caught that. It was a great throw. And Nakua almost made a great catch. But the Seahawks defense, they forced a 3 and out. And Rashid Shaheed back deep to receive. Brought a kickoff back for a touchdown last week. And always dangerous when he's got the ball in his hands. But this time Shaheed will call for a fair catch at the 19-yard line. So that is where the Seahawks will start this drive, or where the Seahawks will take over for their first offensive possession. 13:33 to go in the first quarter. So Sam Darnold and the offense on the field. Darnold has won 29 games over the last 2 years. Between this year and last year with the Vikings, that is most in the NFL for any quarterback. One more win, and he will be in the Super Bowl as the starting quarterback. A few years ago, you told that to somebody, they'd think you were insane. But a first down from the 19-yard line, Darnold in the pistol. Kenneth Walker is behind him. No Zach Charbonnet today, tore his ACL last week. So Walker up the middle, looking for space, and he'll gain about 5 on the run up the middle. So 2nd and 5 here for the Seahawks. So Darnold in shotgun. They got JSN lined up to his right. They motion Cooper Kupp across the formation. 2nd and 5, Darnold to throw. Darnold throws over the middle, it's incomplete. Trying to get it to JSN, coverage there from Nate Landman, and it's 3rd and 5. This is a Rams defense. They're not the greatest defense in the world, but last week they played pretty well. And they got back on track before last week they were allowing 30 points per game over their last 5 games. But here is a 3rd and 5. Seahawks, the 16th best third down team in the NFL, 40%. Darnold to throw on 3rd down. Darnold takes a shot deep down the sidelines. Got a man! Shaheed! Inside Rams territory, taken down at the 25-yard line. A huge play for the Seahawks. Rashid Shaheed with a huge play and a 3rd down conversion for the Seahawks. Shaheed had the touchdown to open the game last week. He has a huge play on 3rd down here. And a big play downfield for the Seahawks offense. Man, what a play. Great throw for Darnold. Shaheed gets behind the defense. And a really good throw and catch. 51 yards. And a first down for the Seahawks at the Rams' 25-yard line. Here's a throw to the outside for Smith-Njigba. Makes the guy miss. And he's got the first down. Still on his feet. And he's shoved it out of bounds after another 16 yards. 1st and goal for the Seahawks. Let's get a good game. Yeah, I hope this one's good. I mean, the NFC Championship game is at least close, but pretty boring. But hopefully we see some points scored, and it's a close game. So it is now 1st and goal for the Seahawks from the 9-yard line. 4 for 6 in the red zone against the 49ers in the divisional round. On the year, they're 21st in the NFL, 54% touchdown rate. We'll hand it off here, Walker, and he's trying to cut to the outside, and he'll gain 3. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in the win against the 49ers last week. So it is now 2nd and goal, 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. So far, results in the poll, 56% of you guys have said the Rams will win, 44% have said the Seahawks. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. Darnold under center, Walker at the back, and they'll hand it off. Walker again, up the middle, this time not as much. Oh, he's still on his feet, though. Kenneth Walker fighting his way down to the 2-yard line. Wow. Great effort right there. Gets an extra 3 yards after contact. And it brings up 3rd and goal from the 2. I thought he just was going to get stopped at the line here. If you guys missed my prediction for the game, I've got the Rams by a score of 27-24. So 3rd and goal for the Seahawks. Darnold under center. Walker is the back. And here's another run play. Walker trying to turn the corner, and Walker is diving into the end zone for a touchdown. He turns the corner, he beats Young around the edge, and the Seahawks on the board first. Kenneth Walker with the rushing touchdown. And a great drive for the Seahawks, a really good start. They forced a 3-and-out defensively, and then go right down the field. And they take the lead with 9:57 to go into the first quarter. But a nice run there for Kenneth Walker. A little surprised to see them run the ball there on 3rd and goal. But it works, and they're on the board first. And here's Jason Myers to add the extra point. And it is good. 7-0 Seahawks. Just under 10 minutes to go into the first quarter. But what a start. The defense with a 3-and-out. The offense was a great drive. It was helped out by the big play to Shaheed. And a really good start for the Seahawks. But I'm going to eat a little bit during the commercial breaks. I was eating in between stream. I've got a good amount done so far, though. Still going to eat, so I'm going to eat a little bit during the commercial. So hope you guys don't mind that. But that was a great drive for the Rams. Sorry, for the Seahawks. Not a good drive for the Rams. They went 81 yards in 7 plays. And scored the touchdown. But a really good drive. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Rams down by 7. They'll get the ball back after a quick 3-and-out on their first drive. Also, technically a chance this is the final game for Matthew Stafford if the Rams lose. There hasn't really been many rumors he might retire, but there's also people saying he could go right off into the sunset if they win a Super Bowl, which is possible, but I wouldn't expect him to retire, although definitely a greater than 0 chance it could be his final game, although I don't think it would be. But just my opinion. But a 7-play, 81-yard drive for the Seahawks. They took 3:36 off the clock. Ended in a 2-yard touchdown run for Kenneth Walker. And now the Rams will get the ball back, down by 7. Much warmer in Seattle than it was in Denver. The AFC Championship game was like 12 degrees. That's what it felt like. It feels like 43 in Seattle. The kick is returned here. Whittington again from the 3, and he'll bring it back to the 27-yard line. So not the greatest return. And now we got some pushing and shoving after the play. But they're separated. But Stafford and the Rams offense back on the field. Not a good start offensively, a 3-and-out on the last drive. Let's see what they can do this time around, though. So from the 27, Stafford hands off Corum up the middle. And he'll gain 4 to the 31. So they also start the second drive the same way they started the first drive, a 4-yard run. Then they threw a 2-yard pass and incompletion. So 2nd and 7, Stafford off play action, gets pressured. Stafford goes deep downfield, Nakua's open, and he's got it inside the 30 at the 26-yard line. A huge play downfield for the Rams, Puka Nacua. A nice catch downfield and a big play there for the Rams offense. It's their first down of the game, and the teams trade big plays early in this first quarter. I mean, this is actually a great catch. Witherspoon gets his hand in there, but Nacua still had to make the play. And they've got it down to the 26-yard line. 45 yards in the completion right there for Stafford to Nacua. He goes deep downfield again for Nacua, but he overthrew him this time. Threw it a little too far, and it's 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 from the 26. Stafford can look to throw. Again, he flips one downfield. Adams, the target. The ref says uncatchable ball, but Adams wanted the flag. There definitely was some contact. Well, that's an interesting matchup to watch. You got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, two great receivers against two really good defenders in the secondary, Witherspoon and Woolen for the Seahawks. But it is now 3rd and 10 from the 26. Stafford and shotgun got it back to his right. And Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford sidearms one, and it's incomplete. Nacua sliding attempt at it, but too low, and it's 4th down. But a decent drive for the Rams. Really, they got the big play, and then Stafford took a few shots at the end zone, and it just didn't work out. So it's now 4th and 10, and here comes Harrison Mevis to get the Rams on the board. He's missed just one kick all year, but the one kick was a huge miss in this stadium, which really allowed the Seahawks to come back and win that Week 16 game. But this one is good. The Rams are on the board. It's 7-3. 7-3 with 8:15 to go in the first quarter. But a solid drive there for the Rams. They go down the field. They got points. And both teams on the board pretty quickly. Sorry, I'm trying to continue to eat dinner while we're at commercials, so don't see much talking. I'm almost done. Making good progress. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Seahawks up 7-3. They got the football back. A great drive for them on their first drive. We'll see what they can do on their second drive. But a 6-play, 47-yard drive for the Rams. 44 of the yards came on one play. The big throw and catch to Nakua. Well, that is the drive for the Rams, ending in a field goal for Mevis. And kick is a touchback. Seahawks will take it at the 35-yard line. So Darnold and Seahawks offense back on the field. Darnold under center here. And here's a handoff to Kenneth Walker to the left side. And Walker is going to pick up about 3. But fights forward for an extra yard. So give him 4, maybe 5 on the play. Nice run right there. Walker going to be a lot more involved today with no Zach Charbonnet. So 2nd and 5. Darnold under center. 5 run plays, 3 pass plays so far for the Seahawks. And here's play action. Darnold rolling left. And he throws the flat. It's caught by Barner. And he loses the ball out of bounds. But it is not going to matter because it obviously goes out of bounds. So it's a gain of 6 and a first down for the Rams. First and 10, Darnold is going to hand off to Walker. And he's got a nice run. He'll pick up about 7, maybe 8 yards. A solid run right there for the Seahawks. Yeah, they're going to give him 8 to make it 2nd and 2. Seahawks on the ground in their last 4 games, averaging 172 yards per game, 5.2 yards per carry, and 8 rushing touchdowns in the last 4 games. That's pretty good. They ran for 175 last week. So Darnold under center, and they go back to the ground. Walker makes the guy miss in the backfield. Nice move. And he's got it inside Rams territory down at the 39-yard line. First down, Seahawks. Running the ball pretty effectively so far. The Rams defense is not great against the run, also isn't the worst ever, but if a team's going to run the football effectively like the Seahawks, they'll probably run the ball fairly well. Walker's already run it 7 times for 35 yards. And he's found the end zone. So Darnold, play action here, will look to throw. And he sets a screen for Walker. Gets a block downfield. Walker's still on his feet inside the 30 and is down at the 24-yard line. A nice catch and run right there for Kenneth Walker. Very involved in the offense so far. And he's been very productive so far as well. So 1st and 10. Seahawks with 6 first downs, Rams with 1. And Seahawks have it at the Rams 24-yard line. Darnold under center. Walker the back. And again, they'll hand it to Walker. And this time he goes nowhere. Taken down for a loss of a yard. Kobe Turner stops him. And it's 2nd and 11 for the Seahawks. So second down, 4:15 to go in the first half. Sorry, first quarter. Barner goes in motion. Darnold in shotgun, got it back to his right. And Darnold going to look to throw. He throws outside, caught by JSN. And he's going to tightrope the sidelines out of bounds after a gain of about 8. And brings up third and fairly short here for the Seahawks. So third and 2. Darnold is going to fake it, the handoff, and then roll to his left, throw downfield. Oh, what a catch! One-handed catch by Smith and Jigba at the 7-yard line. Well, that was a great catch. Yeah, that's a catch. Wow, what a catch. So first and goal from the 7. And they go to the ground here. Trying to bounce outside. Not going to work. And he stopped for a loss of a yard, maybe 2. I mean, they show this again. It's not often you see guys just get complete possession of the ball with one-handed. That is exactly what happened right here. You got one-handed. That's all he needed. And he got complete possession right when he catches it. That is a crazy catch. JSN 3 catches for 33 yards so far. So second and goal. Handoff. Here's Walker up the middle. Jumps over a defender on the ground and gains about 4. Down to the 5-yard line. We got a flag down. But if it stands, a solid run. And bring up third and goal from the 5. They call a hold against the Seahawks. That'll back them up 10. And make it second and goal from about the 19. Minute 55 to go in the first quarter. Second and goal here for the Seahawks from the 19. Darnold in shotgun. Fakes the swing pass, now throws the screen for Walker. And he's got space up the middle, down to the 10-yard line. They pretty much get the penalty yardage back, as it brings up third and goal. Man, Kenneth Walker's been really involved so far. This guy's kind of like 50 touches today. I guess they're figuring you got an extra week if you win. So, might as well use your playmakers. Walker's probably got like 10 touches already. He's got 8 run plays and 2 catches. But here's a third and goal. Darnold to throw. Darnold throws. It is incomplete. Both guys looking around like they want a flag. Kobe Durant was in coverage. Barner was the target. No, Durant said he wanted hands to the face. And the Seahawks looks like they wanted interference. But no flag is thrown either way. And Jason Myers comes on for the field goal try to put the Seahawks up by 7. So Myers, 27-yarder from the right hash. And his kick is good. So 10-3. The Seahawks go down the field again. They move the football effectively. This time, don't get in the end zone. They're forced to settle for 3. But they're still up, and they're back up by 7. after the field goal. I'll be right back. Need to go to tissue. Be back in like 10 seconds. Alright. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. The Seahawks up by 7. And they will kick it away to the Rams, who, outside of that one play to Nakua, haven't done much offensively. We'll see if they can get the offense going. But this game already a lot closer than the game was so far at this point last week for the Seahawks. They're up 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. Today it's 10-3. Seahawks, they've won 10 straight games. Their last loss came against the Rams back in Week 10. So the Seahawks kick this off here. Whittington on the return. It's a good one. He brings it back to the 35. So that is where the Rams will take over. 48 seconds left in the first quarter. Down 10-3. And we'll see what they can do for their third possession. So from the 35, Stafford hands off, Williams to the left side, and Kyron Williams is going to gain 3 before he's thrown backwards. So it brings up 2nd and 7, like we got one more play here in the first quarter. So 2nd and 6 from the 38. Really more like 2nd and 7. Here's another run play. Williams up the middle. He's got space and a first down. Getting to the 49-yard line. First down for the Rams. That is their best run play of the day. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. So at the end of one, Seahawks up 10-3. The Rams with the football. And been a pretty close game so far. But hopefully that continues. We've already almost seen as many points scored in this entire game than we saw scored in the entire AFC Championship game. 13 combined points in the first quarter here. 17 combined points in that game. Sean Payton got asked about not taking the points early in the game. He said he wanted to be aggressive. He says, I think the feeling was to be aggressive. But he said he felt like they had momentum, wanted to keep building on that. And he liked the call they had, but it didn't end up working out, obviously. But they're back from commercial here. As we start the second quarter here. Seahawks up by 10-3. So 1st and 10 from the 50. Stafford under center, Williams the back here as we start the second quarter. Nakua goes in motion, and they'll hand it to him on the jet sweep. And Nakua took a big hit, but picks up 4 on the play. And Nakua lost his helmet. So 2nd and 6 here for the Rams. Stafford 2 for 6, 47 yards. 44 of them on the one pass play to Nakua downfield. Stafford to throw, and he throws up the seam. It's caught by Adams, breaking free inside the 30. Adams on the run to the 24-yard line. A big throw and catch there, and a nice catch and run for Devontae Adams. And a first down for the Rams. Witherspoon fell down. And a nice play there for the Rams. Both teams moving the ball very effectively, averaging over 8 yards per play. So Stafford under center from the 23. Stafford hands off. Williams up the middle, trying to bounce outside, but he's not able to do so. And he stopped after a gain of a yard. But it is a 2nd and 10 here. From the 23. Stafford in shotgun back to his right. Stafford to throw. Has time. Throws over the middle. That is knocked down. Trying to get it to Adams. But very good coverage there. But I believe that's the rookie Nick Emanwari. And it's 3rd and 10. Yeah, that is really good coverage from the rookie to South Carolina. So 3rd and 10. Stafford to throw. Stafford gets pressured. Stafford dancing around and he goes down. The ball comes out. The Rams are able to recover it back at the 32-yard line, but Stafford goes down for the sack. And the Rams, a good drive, ends up stalling. And they're forced to settle for 3 once again. Oh, wait a minute. Stafford got his face mask pulled there. Okay, now I know the NFL added replay assist can go in and add a face mask. Could they do that right here? Because that is clearly a face mask. But no replay. And the field goal from Mevis is good. But the kick from Mevis is good. It's now 10-6. But a major missed face mask right there ruins the drive for the Rams. But I'm pretty sure replay assist can go on and add a face mask. That was one of the big changes they made last year. From last year to this year. I'm going to look it up right now. Sorry about the barking dog, if you can hear that. Yes, for the 2025 season, I just found it. The NFL Competition Committee expanded replay assist to include objective input if a foul is called for, roughing the passer, intentional grounding, unnecessary roughness based on hit to a defenseless player or when stepping out of bounds, horse collar tackle, tripping, running into a roughing kicker, and twisting, pulling, returning the face mask of a helmet opening. So I don't know how they didn't go on and add that, because it's very clear. Stafford got his face mask pulled right there. Like, I don't know why sometimes replay assist does something and changes the call. Or adds something or whatever. But other times they don't. So the kick is a touchback as Shaheed takes a knee in the end zone. And it makes sense they're not going to want to give him a chance to return it. So the Seahawks take over at the 35. But we'll see what the Seahawks can do on their next possession. A touchdown and a field goal on their 2 drives so far. Here's a hand. No, play action. Actually, Darnold to throw. Steps up. Darnold throws. Caught by Smith-Njigba at the 49-yard line. Inside Ram territory, 16 yards. And a first down for the Seahawks. Nice throw and catch right there. Darnold fumbles the snap. He's able to dive on it. But the Seahawks can lose a lot. Back at the 42-yard line, Darnold recovers the fumble. And it is now second and probably about 18 or 19. Darnold just took his eye off it. So it's now second and 19 after the fumble. From the 42, Darnold in shotgun got it back to his left. Darnold gets pressured and he got sacked. Brandon Fisk takes him down back at the 34-yard line. Darnold goes down and is now third and a mile here for the Seahawks. They lost 9 on first down. Lost even more here. As Darnold loses about 6, maybe 7 yards. So it is third and 27. And they'll just run the ball here. And gain about 3. So the Seahawks go 3 now. Drive really. Sorry, they don't go 3 and out. They had this the throw to Smith-Njigba, but after that, that next set of downs was pretty terrible. A fumble, a sack, and then a run play. They got like 3 yards. But that was a good defensive possession there for the Rams. They forced the first punt of the game for the Seahawks. And Xavier Smith back deep to receive. Dixon sends it away. And this is a good kick. And oh, it's muffed! But he does get it back. Smith muffs it at the 10, but he dives on it at the 12. They are very lucky to get that back. That was a huge kick. Yeah, that could have been a disaster for the Rams. Because the defense finally forces a punt. And then you muff the punt. Imagine giving it right back inside the red zone. That could have been a disaster. But they're very lucky. They're able to get the ball back. They've got it on their own 12-yard line now. Sorry, I'm still trying to finish eating while they're at commercial, so I'm almost done. Sorry about that. I'm kind of just sitting here in silence. But got a few bites left and I'm done. So 1st and 10 from the 13. Starts his drive. A handoff. Kyron Williams to the left side. And a handoff. On the run play, they'll gain about 7. That was actually Blake Corum with the carry right there. Sorry about that. Rams' first 3 possessions, 3 and out, and then field goal. A doubleheader, long day. Yep. Got back-to-back streams here. I don't mind it. I enjoy doing them. Here is Corum up the middle. And Corum going to gain about 3, maybe 4 in a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 24. Stafford, hands off, Corum again. And Blake Corum up the middle, he gains 5 to the 29-yard line. That's 3 good run plays for Corum to start the drive. Stafford throws underneath here, and his first pass attempt at the drive is completed for a gain 5 and a first down. Gets to Colby Parkinson. First down for the Rams. Pretty good drive so far. Moving it effectively. Stafford off play action. Steps up, throws over the middle. That is caught by Nacua. Nice throw from Stafford. Tight window. And Nacua gets to the 44-yard line. And a first down for the Rams. As he gets to inside Seahawk territory. That was a really good throw for Stafford. Right on the money into a tight window. So 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 44. Stafford, hands off, Corum to the right side. This time he stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Brings up 2nd and 10. Stafford hands off again. Corum getting to the outside, inside the 30, out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Nice run there for Blake Corum. And a first down for the Rams. He's run the ball very effectively on this drive. So Stafford under center here. Hands off. Corum again. This time not as much space. He'll gain just 2. That time that was Kyron Williams. I cannot tell these guys apart. They're so similar with the way they look on the broadcast. And of course, it's not like one wears a single digit number, the other wears like 25. Of course, they both wear 22 and 23. But that was Kyron Williams. He got 2. So it's second down and 8 here for the Rams. Oh, what the heck? Why did it just skip forward? Alright, missed second down play, but first down Rams. No idea what happened there, but they are apparently getting a first down. Looks like they ran the ball on that play. So Stafford under center from the 11-yard line. McVay goes flying down the sideline to call a timeout. But Sean McVay went flying down the sideline there to get that timeout in. Looks like he saw something he didn't like. So after the timeout, 1st and 10 for the Rams on the 11-yard line. The Rams 6 for 8 in the red zone in the playoffs. Here's a handoff to Blake Corum to the right side, and he'll gain a yard and a half. Not much space to run. Second and 8, Nakua goes in motion. And we reached the 2-minute warning. Wow, that was already? I wasn't even paying attention to the clock. I got captions on, which is kind of blocking the clock, so I guess we'll turn those off. But we reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Seahawks up by 4, but the Rams moving the football pretty effectively and have an opportunity to take their first win of the day. And I'm also officially finally done with dinner. That took a while, but I'm finally done. So I hope you guys didn't mind me eating. And if you did, I'm now done. I wonder how many people are unable to watch this game, or the games, due to power outages during the storm. Stay safe, everybody. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder. I'm very thankful we still have power. It's been snowing here like all day and very cold. But yeah, hopefully everyone's okay who doesn't have power. I think I saw before there was more than 1 million without power. Let's see if they updated that. I don't know. I can't find the exact number, but it's quite a bit. 12 to 14 inches of snow, but you have electricity. Good. That's glad to hear that. Yeah, we got a lot of snow here too. It's still snowing, and it's supposed to snow for a lot longer as well, I believe. But luckily, we still have power as well. But they're back from commercial here. At the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 8 here for the Rams. On the Seahawks 10-yard line. Really more like 2nd and 9 because the first down is at the 1. So Stafford in shotgun, got it back to his right. Stafford throws underneath, caught by Williams for the touchdown. Kyren Williams with the receiving touchdown for the 2nd, maybe 3rd week in a row. Actually, I think he's had one in all 3 playoff games. And the Rams, they take their first lead of the day. A great drive. They get in the end zone for the first time. And they take the lead. It's a 10-yard touchdown for Kyren Williams and the Rams. With a really good drive right down the field. Man, he was wide open. And a simple throw and catch. So here is Harrison Mevis for the extra point. And kick from Mevis right down the middle. So it is now 13 to 10. After the Rams get the touchdown, they go up by 3 with a minute 55 to go into the first half. But the Seahawks still have plenty of time. Just under 2 minutes to work with. And they've also got all 3 timeouts. And of course they're going to go back to commercial, even though we were just at a commercial at the 2-minute warning. Okay, 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Plenty of time left for the Seahawks. What is this stat? At 62 extra points made, the Rams lead the NFL in the 2025 regular season. I just scrolled down a little bit on the broadcast on Fox. I'm watching it on the Fox Sports website. And that's a stat. Okay, I mean, I don't really know why someone would care if they lead the NFL in extra points. I mean, I guess that's good because you want to score a lot of touchdowns, meaning you kick a lot of extra points, but this doesn't seem like a very significant stat. I mean, if you lead the NFL in touchdown score, that's pretty impressive, and that's good, but extra points made, I mean, who cares? But the kickoff is away, and it bounces in the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks will take over at the 35-yard line with all 3 timeouts. Rams still have 2 timeouts in this first half. And Seahawks get the ball to start the second half. So we're in a pretty good spot right here. So from their own 35, Darnold in shotgun, got it back to his right. Darnold gonna hand off. Walker bounces outside, cuts inside, back outside. No gain 2. A lot of running right there for Kenneth Walker, just to gain 2. But he stops the clock with 1:49 to go. And it's 2nd and 8 for the Seahawks. Darnold's played pretty well so far. He's 8 for 10 for 130 yards. So 2nd and 5. Darnold in shotgun back to his left. Darnold going to look to throw. Steps up. Throws off the hands of Kupp and incomplete. Kobe Durant in coverage. Good coverage there. And Kupp, the former Ram, can't hold on. So 3rd and 9. Just a 3rd and completion of the game for Darnold on that play. They 3rd and 9 from their own 37. An empty backfield here. 1:44 to go in the first half. Rams bring a blitz. Darnold gets rid of it. It is off the hands of the receiver and incomplete. That is a big drop because he had a ton of space after the catch. That's the backup running back tonight, Hawani, number 36. Because Zach Charbonnet is out with the torn ACL. That is a major missed opportunity. I mean, it's not a great throw for Darnold, but could get caught. And now the Rams get it back. 1:41 to go. And 2 timeouts after they didn't spend a single timeout on that drive. They got pressure on the punt as well. And Xavier Smith calls fair catch at the 17-yard line. A flag is down, though. So we'll see if it stands. It's going to be a hold actually against the Seahawks. So, I mean, because that happens, I guess the Rams could make them re-kick. No, the Rams want it after the dead ball spot. Oh, they actually called on the guy who was rushing that almost blocked it. But I mean, if he didn't get held right there, the Rams might have blocked that punt, which would be huge. So, I mean, if you're the Seahawks right there, I'm pretty sure you trade a holding call. So, trade 10 yards for a blocked punt. Any day. But after the penalty, the Rams now have it at the 28-yard line. Uh, always great commentating. Always great commentating you're doing, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoy it. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial after the punt. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Minute 33 to go in the first half. Cousin Kobe Durant is in his zone for this game. He's played pretty well. I forgot he was your cousin. You said that last week, but I forgot about that. But that's still so cool that your cousin's an NFL player. But a first down here from the 28. A handoff up the middle here for Kyron Williams. And he'll gain 5 on the run up the middle. Two timeouts for the Rams, 3 for the Seahawks. Stafford to throw on 2nd and 5. He throws outside. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to Nakua, but Eamon Warrior with the pass breakup, his 2nd of the day. He's had such a good rookie year. So it is now 3rd and 5, minute 9 to go in the first half. So Stafford in shotgun, Rivers is the back to his right. Don't see him in the game too often, unless he's returning kicks. But Stafford to throw, gets pressured, throws one deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Actually, we got whistles here that blew the play dead. They put a couple seconds back on the clock, minute 9 to go, because the Rams call a timeout before the snap. That is their 2nd timeout. The Seahawks still have all 3. So it is 3rd and 5 for the Rams. The winner moves on to the Super Bowl to play the Patriots in San Francisco. It's crazy the Patriots are already back in the Super Bowl in the post-Brady era. Stafford looks to throw. Plenty of time. Throws outside. It is incomplete. Trying to get to Williams out of the backfield. Eamon Warrior in coverage again. He's had a great game. And it brings up 4th and 5. So now the Seahawks will get it back. They still have all 3 timeouts. They have about a minute left. So the Rams defense gets a stop. The Seahawks defense gets a stop. And now the Seahawks will get it back. They have a minute 3 to go in all 3 timeouts. The punt is away. And Shaheed calls fair catch at the 25-yard line. So they have at the 25, 54 seconds, and all 3 timeouts. So plenty of time to try to put a drive together here before halftime. And they got the ball to start the second half. So, I mean, they're in like the same spot they were a few minutes ago, or a minute ago in game time. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial here. Seahawks get it back. 54 seconds left in the first half. So far, results in the poll, 59% of you guys said the Seahawks win, 41% have said the Rams. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Actually, no, they just got back. Where did I said that? But Darnold and Seahawks offense back on the field. They got 54 seconds and 3 timeouts to work with. The Rams have 1 timeout. The Seahawks on their first 2 drives, 19 plays, 137 yards, 10 points. But since then, 7 plays, 2 punts. Darnold going to look to throw here from the 26. He throws outside, and that is, what a catch. Fighting through a defender to make the play. Jackson Smith-Njigba gains 12 and a first down. Strong hands on that one. So 1st and 10 now from the 36. JSN 5 catches for 59 yards. Darnold can look to throw. Darnold throws. Tight window. Dangerous throw. And almost intercepted. Trying to get to Cooper Kupp. Brings up 2nd and 10. That was a dangerous throw, though. Almost got picked. So it brings up 2nd and 10 from the 36. Darnold in shotgun, going to back to his left. They bring Kupp in motion. And Darnold going to look to throw. He steps up. Darnold goes deep down the field. Wide open. Jackson Smith-Njigba to the 22-yard line. Takes a big hit. Holds onto the football in a huge play for the Seahawks with 35 seconds left in the first half. He ended up wide open, took a huge hit. But he would maintain possession of the ball. And he gets it down to the 22-yard line. And the Seahawks call their first timeout. With 35 seconds left in the first half. nice throw by Darnold. Nice catch downfield. And the Seahawks in a great position to at least tie this game before halftime. JSN now over 100 yards in the first half. 6 for 102 on 7 targets. So from the 22-yard line, Darnold in shotgun got it back to his right. JSN goes in motion. And Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold throws underneath. It's caught by second-string running back Hawani. And he'll get it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Again, clock stops. Looks like the Seahawks call a timeout. Okay, they call their second. So now each team with 1 timeout remaining. So first and goal for the Seahawks. 30 seconds left in the first half. Seahawks also get the ball to start the second half. Darnold in shotgun got it back to his right. From the 9. And flag comes in and the play is blown dead here. We're going to false start against the Seahawks. They call against the center, Sundell. Yeah, slight flinch there. So first and goal from the 16. Sorry, the 14. After the penalty. Rashid Shaheed goes in motion. Darnold in shotgun. He'll look to throw it. Darnold gets pressure. Throws back to the end zone. It is caught, but he's out of bounds. Darnold just threw way too high for JSN. It made an impressive jump to even catch that. But there was just no chance he was coming down in bounds. So it's second and goal after that one. So second and goal from the 14. Darnold in shotgun back to his right. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold throws. End zone wide open. Touchdown Seahawks. Jackson Smith-Njigba, another big catch for him in the first half. He's well over 100 yards and he's now found the end zone. And the Seahawks retake the lead. They're about to go up 17-13 here before halftime. And they get the ball to start the second half. I'm not sure what happens here. He just ends up wide open. So it looks like the defender, Wake, gets put in a tough spot because he's got to figure out if he wants to guard JSN behind him or the underneath route, which I believe was Cooper Kupp. But Jackson Smith-Njigba with the touchdown, and the Seahawks now up by 4. It's 17-13 before halftime. So 17-13, the Seahawks retake the lead, but Stafford and the Rams left some time. But there's still 20 seconds left in the first half. Let's see if the Rams try to do anything here before the half. The kickoff brought back to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. So 15 seconds in a timeout. Harris Mevis has a pretty big leg. He's hit from 61 in college. Although I don't really think the Rams trust him to hit from distance. But let's see what they do here before halftime. And let's see how aggressive they are. They start at their own 29. Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford throws underneath, caught by Higbee. He's got space after the catch, and he gets to the 41-yard line. 8 seconds left. The Rams, they're called their third and final timeout. So a solid pickup right there, and they're now out of timeouts. So Mevis has a big leg, can hit from 60 plus. We saw it in college a few years ago. But they're going to need to go still about 15 yards to give him a realistic chance. Right now, your best bet is probably just try to get 5 to 10 yards closer and throw a Hail Mary. But the Seahawks, they call their third and final timeout. The Seahawks also got the ball to start the second half. So if the Rams can get some points here, that'd be big. Although it seems kind of like a long shot at this point. So 1st and 10 for the Rams. 8 seconds left. They're at their own 41. Stafford going to look to throw. Stafford going to try to run here. The half is going to end, and Stafford slides. Ball comes out at the end, but Stafford was sliding. They're going to let this play out, though. Even Worry running it back, and now they blow it dead. But Stafford ended up fumbling on the slide, although I'm pretty sure he was sliding first, which is why they blew it dead. But a pretty solid first half for both sides. A lot more entertaining than the Broncos-Patriots game was. And we're only at halftime. But Seahawks up 4 at the half. Very close game so far. Both offenses playing pretty well. And the Seahawks also got the ball to start the second half. But I'm going to go take a quick break as I do halftime of every game I stream. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Going to go fill my water, use the bathroom, and also bring my plate from dinner upstairs. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Sorry that took forever. But I'm finally back. It is 17-13 at the half. A pretty entertaining game so far. And Seahawks get the ball to start the second half, an opportunity to potentially extend their lead. But I mean, a pretty good game so far. The Seahawks have already scored as many points as the Broncos and Patriots have scored combined. But we wait for them to start the second half. And as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally went Rams 27-24. I'm going to stick with the Rams, and I guess we'll stick with them. I think it's going to be a little higher scoring than that. Let's see. We'll go. Let's see. Updated score prediction. I'll give the Seahawks. Let's give the Ram. We'll go 31 or 30-27 Rams. But that is the updated score prediction. We'll take the Rams 30-27. The original score prediction was 27-24, which is still definitely possible. But I just think the amount of points the Seahawks scored in the first half, I have a hard time believing they'll only score 7 in the second half. But we'll go over some stats from the first half. We'll start off with player stats for the Rams. Matthew Stafford, a good first half. 8 for 15, 125 yards, and a touchdown. On the ground for the Rams, they also ran the ball very effectively. Corum, 7 carries for 40 yards. Kyren Williams, 7 carries, 31 yards. Stafford, 1 carry, 13 yards, and Nakua, 1 for 4. Then for the Rams receiving, Nakua, 4 for 75. Adams, 1 for 23. Higbee, 1 for 12. Williams, 1 for 9. Parkinson, Williams also has a touchdown. Parkinson has 1 for 6. And Rivers has 1 target but no catches. Then for the Seahawks, Sam Darnold went 12 for 18. 209 yards. Wow, 209 yards. That's a ton. I mean, I guess that's what happened when you have one receiver who's got over 100. But Darnold threw for 209 in the first half. That's already more than he threw for in the entire game last week. Where he threw for 124 last week. But anyway, yeah, Darnold at 209. Sorry, I got distracted there. Then on the ground for the Seahawks, they started running the ball pretty well, and then they kind of went away from the run a little bit. But Kenneth Walker, 9 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. George Hawani, 2 carries for a yard, and Darnold, 1 carry for 0 yards. Then receiving, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 7 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Rashid Shaheed has 1 for 51. Walker, 2 for 24. Hawani, 1 for 13. Barner, 1 for 6. And Kupp, 2 targets but 0 catches. And then finally, team stats, pretty even. 12 first downs for the Rams, 12 for the Seahawks, 10 for the Rams. The Seahawks 3 for 6 on third down, Rams 1 for 5. The Seahawks outgaining the Rams 239 to 204. And Seahawks at 7.7 yards per play, Rams at 6.4. The Seahawks more passing yards, Rams more rushing yards. The Rams 1 touchdown and 1 red zone trip. The Seahawks 2 for 3. Penalties, 3 penalties, 25 yards against the Seahawks, no penalties against the Rams. No turnovers either. And time possession, 15-14 for the Rams, 14-46 for the Seahawks. But a very even first half. The team separated by just 4 points. They are separated by 1 point and 1 yard in their 2 regular season matchups combined. But these are 2 really good teams. I think these are the 2 best teams in the NFL. And I think it is going to be a very good second half. Seahawks up 4, and they get the ball to start the second half. looking to potentially add to that lead. But so far, results on the poll, 58% of you guys said the Seahawks will win, 42% half said the Rams. Make sure to vote on the poll if you guys have not already done so. But a pretty even first half, and we'll see what each team can do here in half number 2. So the kick here bounces into the end zone, where Shaheed will take a knee. So that's going to bring the ball to just the 20-yard line. A good kick right there. And Seahawks not great starting field position. But Darnold and the Seahawks offense on the field, they start at the 20. And we'll see what they can do for their first possession of the second half. So they start at the 20, Darnold under center, Walker is behind him. And they'll go to the ground, Walker gets it up the middle. And he'll gain 4. So 2nd and 5. Darnold in shotgun. Walker to his right once again. Now Walker motions out of the backfield. And Darnold going to look to throw. And Darnold throws that is caught by Jackson Smith-Njigba. Who else? To the 37-yard line. First down Seahawks. But that is another catch for JSN. Another about 10 yards. He's now up to like 125. He's had an insane game so far. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Darnold under center. Walker the back. JSN 8 for 127 and a touchdown so far. That's like an entire game. He's had that in the first half. Plus the first 2 plays of the second. Darnold gets pressured rolling right. He just throws it away. As he's able to get away from Jared Verse just long enough. Darnold looking a little bit bothered by that oblique injury. Over on the sideline a little while ago. So 2nd and 10. Darnold in shotgun. Got it back to his left. Darnold hands off. Walker is going to break a tackle in the backfield. But he's got nowhere to go. Going to try to get to the outside. And he's just going to end up going down for a loss of 2. There is a flag on the play. We are holding against the Seahawks. But the Rams declined the penalty. So it'll remain 3rd and about 12 here for the Seahawks. So 3rd and 12. Darnold in shotgun, got it back to his left. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold gets pressure, pocket collapses, and he goes down for the sack. I thought he was going to be able to break out of there, but he goes down back at the 27-yard line, and the Rams defense forces a punt. It's a nice stop right there. They just collapse the pocket, mainly from the interior. And Darnold just has no escape. So it is now 4th and 19. Dixon to punt it away. So the kick is away. And Xavier Smith falls down. Oh boy! Did he muff that? I think he did. It's Seahawk ball at the 17. Wow, that was a disaster. He fell down and couldn't catch the ball. That is a disaster for the Rams. Yep, he definitely touches it. He's trying to go backwards and field the punt. But he trips backwards, falls down, and Seahawks have it at the 17-yard line. That is not what the Rams needed right there. That is the second muff punt of the day. The first one they got back. This one they lose, and the Seahawks have it inside the red zone. So right when the Rams think they got to stop, the defense comes off the field, and now the defense right back on the field. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold hit as he throws. Throws end zone. Call for a touchdown. Jake Bobo, one play after the turnover. And the Seahawks extend their lead. About to go up 24-13. Darnold with the touchdown pass. They capitalize off the special teams mistake for the Rams. And one play later. Oh, what did I just do? One play later, they're into the end zone for the touchdown. But that was another special teams mistake for the Rams. They've been terrible on special teams all year long. Although, I mean, this one, like, you can't even really put it on, oh, they're just terrible on special teams. Like, they got tripped. I mean, I guess, like, it happens and it just ends up being their special team luck this season. But it's not like they're just clearly just so terrible on special teams that's why he tripped. But it is now a 11-point Seahawks lead. They're up 24-13 after the first drive of the second half. And the Rams have got it back down by 11. And they are really going to need to get points in this next drive. The Rams, that is. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. 24-13, 12:02 to go in the third quarter. We'll see what the Rams can do as they get the ball back. As they finally get back from commercial. So Stafford and the Rams will get the ball for their first possession here in the second half. And the kickoff going to be brought back from the 3. Whittington going to get to the outside, and he'll get down at the 25. Nice coverage right there for the Seahawks. So they go back to the touchdown for the Seahawks. They brought a corner blitz, which forced the safeties to rotate. Left the guy one-on-one in the back end. And it ended up being a touchdown, as Jake Bobo beat him on the inside move. So 1st and 10 from the 25 here for the Rams. Stafford under center. Play action. Stafford sets his feet, goes deep downfield right away. What a throw by Stafford. It's caught by Parkinson. And he's out of bounds inside Seahawk territory at the 45-yard line. Man, what a throw by Stafford. I mean, that is a perfect throw. Just high enough. Right on the money. Oh, man, what a throw. They got at the 35-yard line after one play. Stafford hands off. Up the middle. Here's Corum for about 3 yards. Parkinson this season, 43 catches, 408 yards, 8 touchdowns. Had a nice year for the Rams. Stafford to throw. Takes a shot downfield for Adams. What a throw again. Inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. A perfect throw for Stafford again. And it's 1st and goal for the Rams. Man, what a drive. That is 2 perfect throws for Matthew Stafford on this drive. Like, you can't put him any better. So it's now 1st and goal. And this has been a great response drive for the Rams. Ball on the 2. Stafford in the pistol. Gonna look to throw. Stafford throws. End zone. Adams, touchdown. The Rams go right down the field, and they respond to the Seahawks touchdown. I mean, what a drive. I don't think it could be any better. Now, the question right here is, do you go for 2? Some people would, others wouldn't. You could cut to a field goal game right now, or you can just take the point and then worry about going for 2 later. And that's what they'll do. They'll kick the extra point here and go up, or cut it to a 4-point game, which I do think is the right decision. So 24-20. The Rams cut the lead to 4 after a great drive. Look, I really don't know how that drive gets any better for the Rams. That was a perfect drive. 4 plays, 75 yards, 221 off the clock. And just like that, Stafford near 200 yards passing. But they went 40 yards, then 4-yard run, 29 yards, and then touchdown. That was an insane drive. Give me 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. The Seahawks lead has been cut to 4, and we'll see how they respond. But the Rams have made a pretty solid start to the half. They did end up allowing the touchdown because of the special teams mistake. But the defense, they got off the field, and the offense, a great drive. Stafford 71 of the 75 yards in that drive, and the touchdown pass. His second touchdown of the day, and he's thrown for 196. Well, the kickoff is touchback, and will come out to the 35. Sean McVay got pretty excited after that one as well. So 1st and 10 from the 35. Darnold under center. Hands off, up the middle. Here's Hawani for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly. Because I'm not really sure who he is. But he's the second string running back tonight with no Zach Charbonnet. So he's been in when when Walker's not been in. So 2nd and 7. Darnold under center from the 38. Walker back on the game now, at running back. Barner goes in motion, and Walker gets the carry to the right side. He's got nowhere to go. And Walker taken down for a loss of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 9, and a nice stop there for the Ram defense. So it is 3rd down and 9. 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Walker started off running the ball really well, but it's cooled off a little bit. Darnold throws outside. It is a low throw caught by Kupp, and he's got the 1st down. A gain of 13, and they move the sticks. 1st down Rams. But a nice catch there by Kupp with a low throw for Darnold. But going back to what I was saying about Walker, he has run it 12 times for 38 yards after we got off to a great start. So So 1st and 10 from the 48. Darnold under center. And he hands off. Walker up the middle. And Walker, there's a nice run. He got 10 plus. And a Seahawk first down. He's now run for 48. Darnold's run for 250. So 1st and 10 from the 41. Darnold empty backfield. Play clock at 3. They let the play off. Darnold to throw. Steps up. Throws underneath. That is going to be caught by the running back Hawani. And he'll gain 9. They get 2nd down and 1. We got 6:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. So 2nd and 1. Darnold in the pistol. Got a back behind him. And JSN also in the backfield. And they swing it out to him. And JSN gets past his blocker. And he gets down to the 20-yard line. About 10 yards on the catch and run. And a 1st down for the Seahawks. We reach 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Cooper Kupp with good block on the outside. One of the best blocking receivers in the NFL. Jackson Smith-Njigba 9 catches for 139 yards and a touchdown. Not in the game here. 1st and 10 from the 20. Barner in motion. And play action. Darnold rolling to his left. Darnold on the move. And he throws one underneath to Barner, makes the catch. And Barner is going to lunge forward for about 7 yards. And make it 2nd and 3 here for the Seahawks. So 2nd down and 3. And Darnold on the drive, 4 for 4, 40 yards. He throws it again here. This is a wide throw, and Jake Bobo makes a lunging attempt at it, but can't quite corral it. And it's 3rd and 3. Not a good throw there for Darnold. So it is now 3rd and 3. A stop here for the Rams defense could be huge and hold it to a 1-score game. So Darnold in shotgun, got it back to his left. From the 13. Darnold can look to throw. Darnold pocket collapsing, throws, and is caught by Kupp, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. The Seahawks go right down the field. They answer the Rams touchdown, and they extend the lead. They're about to go back up by 11. After the touchdown for Cooper Kupp, he scores a touchdown against his former team. And Seahawks fit 30. Still with 4:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. But Cooper Kupp finds the end zone. Darnold with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks about to go back up by 11. As here's Myers for the extra point. And it is good. 31-20, Seahawks lead. We got 4:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. Sam Darnold is now thrown for 291 and 3 touchdowns. He's now thrown one to Jackson Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp, and Jake Bobo. But let's see how the Rams respond again. They just had a great response drive a few minutes ago. They went 4 plays, 75 yards, and found the end zone. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Give me 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. 31-20. And again, we'll see how the Rams respond. We're going to need the defense to get a stop at some point. The defense hasn't been awful, but they also haven't been amazing. They allowed the Seahawks to go right down the field, provided a little resistance on this play. Or on this drive. But the Seahawks will kick it away. The Rams will get it back. Now down by 11. So here's Whittington on the return. And great coverage by the Seahawks. He runs into a wall of defenders at the 24-yard line. And there's a flag down. So we got a penalty against the Rams. As they get backed up further after blocking the back. Man, I don't really love that one. He kind of goes diving in to make a tackle. And they call the penalty. But the Rams, not good field position. They start at their own 13-yard line. Stafford under center. Play action. Stafford throws deep downfield. Open receivers Adams. And one play, and they're all the way out to the 43-yard line. Devontae Adams, another huge catch. Again, Witherspoon ends up on the ground. Stafford to throw once again. And this time he throws short, caught by Parkinson for a gain of 3. This time we got a flag on the play. We got illegal contact here against the Seahawks. That'll give them 5 and a first down. The Rams, that is. Give them 5 yards. They call it against Tariq Woolen. So here's a handoff up the middle for Williams, and he'll gain 5. Get it inside Seahawk territory to the 40. Actually, I think they were inside Seahawk territory. Well, that's not good. Kobe Turner going to the locker room for the Rams. That'd be a big loss for their defense. Hopefully he's okay. And Jordan Whittington, the kick returner, on the way to the locker room as well. So hopefully both players are okay. Stafford off play action. Steps up, pump fakes, and now throws the flat for Williams, who breaks the tackle. How do you break free? Actually, never really broke free. Witherspoon's always holding on, but a flag is down, probably to come back for holding. Actually, we got hands to the face, but still against the offense. Backs him up. Yep, definitely hands to the face. They call it against Alec Jackson, left tackle. So 2nd and 15 after the penalty. 3:05 to go in the third quarter. Seahawks up 31-20. Stafford in the under center. The back behind him. From the 47. Stafford hands off. Williams up the middle. And he'll gain about 3, maybe 4 as he gets to inside Seahawk territory to the 49. So 3rd and 12. Not a great spot to be in right here if you're the Rams. Stafford's not completed to pass on 3rd down. He gets pressured here, steps up, throws downfield. It is almost intercepted. Wolen had it in his hands. Couldn't quite pick it. But it's a stop for the Seahawks defense. And this is not good for the Rams. Nakua with a great a great play defending against that to break up the interception. And Warren actually a little shaken up after that. Hopefully he's okay. That'd be a huge loss to the Seahawks defense. Losing their top corner. Oh my, there's taunting after the play. That is huge. Taunting after the play against the Seahawks. So it gives the... It gives the Rams 15 and an automatic first down. Wow. He must have goes over and says something to the sideline. That is a huge penalty. It goes over and says something to Stafford. But that's a huge penalty. Because now it gives the Rams first down at the 34. Stafford steps up, goes deep downfield. Nakua! Touchdown! One play after the penalty gives him a fresh set of downs. The Rams into the end zone. Nakua with the touchdown. And the Rams another great drive. Again, they cut it to a one-score game. Now they're going to need their defense to do something. Yup, that is a catch. That's a touchdown. Got possession down in bounds. Yup, that's a touchdown. He beats Tariq Woolen, the guy who they just called a penalty on too. Not a good two-play sequence for him. Actually, he made a great play on that previous play. So not a good play here and a bad penalty against him. But the Rams, one play after the penalty, they capitalize and they're into the end zone. And it's now 31-26. Are they reviewing this? Yeah, it's now under review. This is a touchdown to me. He bobbles it at first, but he gets possession. He lands inbounds. Ball across the plane. This is a touchdown. I don't really see much how they could overturn this. But to me, this is a clear touchdown. But that is a huge penalty they called against Tariq Woolen. He goes over and says something to the sideline. Which gives them a fresh set of downs. 15 yards. It keeps the drive alive. Because they're going to punt if he doesn't say anything. If he just goes and walks over to the sideline, like his own sideline, doesn't say anything, they're going to punt. So, I mean, that is a huge penalty. Because it now pretty much gives the Rams a touchdown as well. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial and figure out or come back with the ruling. It was ruled a touchdown on the field. I think this should easily stand. So the touchdown does stand. So they show the penalty again on Woolen. As the extra point's up and good. But they show the penalty again. He goes over and says something to the sideline. Which is what gets called for the penalty. But something that is going to get overlooked in that play is Puka Nacua and him breaking up the interception. Because if that's an interception after the play, it's still Seahawk football. But because he ended up dropping it, the Rams still had the ball. And they gave him a first down. So that is a huge penalty and a huge play by Nacua to save the interception and then score the touchdown in the very next play. But it is now a 4-point game. And the Rams, they need their defense to get a stop. Because, I mean, the offense, it looks unstoppable for the last two drives. And even Worry and Woolen, looks like they got into a heated discussion over on the sideline a couple minutes ago. Shaheed on the return runs into a wall at the 28-yard line, and he goes down. Surprised the Rams gave him an opportunity to return it after what he did last week. So it is now 31-27, and we'll see if the defense can get a stop for the Rams. Even holding them to 3 and just keeping it a one-score game is big, because with how the Rams are moving the football and scoring touchdowns in every possession pretty much, that's all they need. Here's a flip to Shaheed on the end around, and Shaheed able to make a guy miss, but he's out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks. Minute 40 to go in the third quarter. Seahawks lead 31-27. So 2nd and 10. Darnold in shotgun. Shaheed goes across the formation. JSN now goes in motion. Darnold off play action. Gets pressure. Looks like they were trying to set up a potential screen, and then Darnold just forced to throw it away. So it's 3rd and 10. Not exactly sure what they were trying to do there, but whatever it did not work. So it is now 3rd and 10. Minute 8 to go in the third quarter. A stop here for the Rams would be huge. So an empty backfield for Sam Darnold. Play clock at 1. They will just get the snap off. Rams bring 5. Darnold throws outside. Caught by Walker. And he is close to the first down. They're going to spot him just short. No, maybe they're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him. I thought he was going to mark him just short. Yeah, he's got the first down. What an effort there by Kenneth Walker. A running back, not a receiver, but a nice play as a receiver right there. And he knows where the marker is to get the first down. And Darnold has now crossed 300 yards passing in 3 quarters. He's 20 for 29, 301, and 3 touchdowns. Play clock at 1. Just get the snap off. Darnold looks to throw. Pump fakes. Rolls to his right. Throws underneath. That is caught by Hawani. He's tripped up after getting about 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. Just saw this. Jordan Whittington and Kobe Turner are both questionable to return. Whittington's got a chest injury. Turner's got cramps. So both those guys questionable to return for the Rams. But we reached the end of the third quarter here. The Seahawks up by 4, going to the fourth. 31-27. Been a great game so far. The winner moves on to the Super Bowl where they'll face the Patriots. But a 4-point game going to the fourth. Been a great game so far. Definitely makes up for the game we saw before, ending 10-7. Puka and JSN are just amazing to watch. They really are. It's crazy how good they both are. Both over 100 yards. Both have found the end zone. It's really crazy seeing them going back and forth. Even Darnold and Stafford, too. I mean, I know Darnold doesn't have the same... He's not thought of as any elite quarterback, but he's playing really well. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Stafford thrown for 265 and 3 touchdowns. Both these offenses playing really well as we go to the fourth quarter. And hopefully that continues. So 2nd and 5 here. As we start the fourth quarter. Darnold in shotgun, Walker to his left. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold pressured, rolls to his left. And Darnold on the run. He's going to have the first down inside Ram territory to the 45-yard line before he's out of bounds. And a nice scramble there for Sam Darnold and a first down for the Seahawks. So 1st and 10 from the Ram 44. Darnold under center, Walker the back. 3 receivers bunch to the right side. Darnold off play action, gets pressured. Darnold goes down, huge loss on the sack. Cam Kinchens, wow. He lost a ton. And the rookie from Miami, Cam Kinchens with a huge play. Just gets untouched into the backfield and Darnold goes down back zone 45. I mean, Darnold lost a ton on that play. He lost 9, make it 2nd and 19 from their own 47. Just got the snap off. Darnold underneath, that's caught by Cup, and he gains 5. So still 3rd and very long here for Seattle. To 3rd and 15. Darnold in shotgun, got Walker to his left. From the Ram 49, they got to get to the Ram 34-yard line to pick up the first down. And we've got a flag here. Verse comes across the line early, but somebody might have moved. Nope, it's just Jared Verse jumping off sides. I mean, that's a bad penalty right there. You don't need to make this 3rd down easier for them. You don't need to worry about getting quick pressure. I mean, it's 3rd and 15 plus. There's just no need to do that right there. That's a bad penalty right there for Jared Verse. Just trying to time the snap up. I mean, there's just no need for it at this point. On 3rd and 15, that's not a good penalty. That makes this 3rd down significantly easier now. Because now it's 3rd and 10. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold throws. That is broken up. Nice defensive play. Kobe Durant with the hit on Shaheed to break up the pass. And it's 4th down. Looked like they were going to pick up the first down, but Durant with a really nice defensive play. Not only the hit, but the punch right on the football knocks it free. And it's 4th down. That's a great defensive play by Durant. So the Seahawks will punt. The Rams defense, they finally got a stop. And we'll see what the Rams offense can do. We've also got a new kick returner or punt returner back deep for the Rams. It is Kyron Williams. He returned punts in college at Notre Dame. And he calls fair catch at the 10-yard line. So Stafford and the Rams offense back on the field down by 4. And with the way the the Rams offense is playing, that is huge that the Rams defense just got to stop. Because the Rams in the second half, they've run 9 plays. They've gone 100 and... I need a calculator. Let's see. They've run 9 plays. And they've gone 162 yards in 9 plays. They're averaging 18 yards per play in the second half, and they've scored 14 points. But with the way they're playing, that's really all they need. One stop from the defense, and they got it. And now let's see if they can... capitalize and put it in the end zone and take the lead. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial, and we'll see what they can do on their next possession. So they start at the 10, down by 4, 12-18 to go in the fourth quarter. So we'll see what the Rams offense has in store. So they're now back from commercial at the 10-yard line. Touchdowns on both second half drives so far, averaging 18 yards a play in the second half. Stafford hands off Corum to the left side, and Blake Corum's got a great run there. First down, Rams gain 10, and he moves the sticks. What a run there for Corum. And a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Play action. Stafford steps up, throws underneath, caught by Corum out of the backfield. He's got another 10 yards, make it 15. He gains 16 and gets across the 25 and a first down for the Rams. Yeah, that was a great play Kobe Durant made a few minutes ago. So 1st and 10 from the 36. Stafford throws outside. This is a low throw, but caught by Kyron Williams. Makes the guy miss. And he's got another Ram first down out of bounds at the 50. 14 yards. And a first down there for the Rams. I mean, this offense just cannot be stopped here in the second half. They're consistently getting 15 plus yards a play. Stafford took a big hit right there from Leonard Williams. We got a Seahawks linebacker shaking up on that last play. Hopefully he's okay. So 1st and 10 from the 49. Stafford under center. Ferguson goes in motion. Stafford off play action. Rolls right. Sets his feet. Goes way downfield. And that pass overthrown. Wow, he threw that a mile. But overthrown and incomplete. Trying to get it to Mumfield. But Stafford just overthrew everybody. Stafford's thrown for 293 and 3 touchdowns. Here's a 2nd and 10 from the 49. Stafford play action. Steps up. Wanted to go deep. Now goes underneath for Parkinson. He's got a 1st down. And Parkinson gains another 15. And another Ram 1st down. Man, the way they're moving the football here is insane. Against this kind of a defense as well. $9:50 to go in the 4th quarter. Rams with the ball on the Seahawks 35. Stafford, pump fakes, checks down again. Here's Corum, and this time he's only going to gain 2. That's the best play the Seahawks defense had in a while. Definitely the drive. Stafford's now throwing for 311. The winning quarterback in this game might throw for 400. Stafford's thrown for 186 and 2 touchdowns here in the 2nd, as he's 9 for 11. He's been unreal in the 2nd half. Stafford, underneath again, there's Corum, and he'll gain 6, maybe 7 yards. About a yard short. And a rare 3rd down here for the Rams in the 2nd half. But this is a big one. And I wouldn't be shocked if this is 4-down territory, depending on what happens here on 3rd down. It is a 3rd and 1 from the 26-yard line. Stafford under center. Got it back behind him. Stafford, play action, gonna throw it. And it is caught by Parkinson. No, he got... Wait a minute. No, it was incomplete. It was not caught by Parkinson. What happened? Oh, Parkinson dropped it. It's a perfect throw for Stafford. And Parkinson dropped it. That is a huge drop. So it is now 4th and 1. Stafford in shotgun got it back to his left. Stafford gonna look to throw. Pump fake. Stafford gonna try to run. Stafford runs for the 1st down. Matthew Stafford with a gain of 2 on the scramble. Wow, I did not think that was gonna work out. But Stafford gains 2. And he moves to 6 with his legs. I mean, he could have just thrown it to the back. Rivers, who was right there, but Stafford decides to run it himself. He's able to break the tackle with DeMarcus Lawrence. And he's got the 1st down. Great job by Stafford. They've now got the ball on the 23 after the conversion. They might have a free play. They're going to hand it off. Corum goes nowhere. But a flag is down. Stafford wants that bowl game. Yeah, he sure does. The Rams did have a free play. They didn't realize it. And they ended up just running for no gain. Yep, definitely offsides. So 1st and 5 after the penalty. Stafford under center. Xavier Smith goes in motion. They fake handing it to him. And they fake the screen to him. Stafford going to look to run again. Now he flips it to Nakua on the outside. And Nakua breaks the tackle. He's got a first down and a gain of 7. That was a great play for Stafford. I thought he was going to run it again. But he decided not to do that and flip it out to Nakua, which is definitely the smarter play. So 1st and 10 from the 12. Stafford throws underneath, caught by Nakua. He gains 5. They're at the 7-yard line, 6:15 to go in the 4th quarter. Man, what a game this has been. Puka Nakua has 7 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown. 11 plays, 84 yards so far. Stafford on the drive, 7 for 9, 65 yards. Here's a handoff. Williams up the middle, chopped down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Brings up 3rd and 4. This is another really interesting decision you got if you get to 4th down right here. 3rd and 4. The Rams 231 yards here in the second half. Seahawks 113. Stafford in shotgun. Gonna look to throw it. Stafford. Rolling right. Pump faking. Throwing. End zone. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to Mumpfield, but got knocked away by Witherspoon, and it's 4th down. So now it's decision time. Do you kick the field goal and take the points, or do you go for it? I mean, I kind of like going for it. The offense playing so well, you're going to need a touchdown to win this game. I'd go for it, and they do have the offense on the field. They got to get inside the 2 for a 1st down. Stafford looks to throw. Stafford with time throws. End zone. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to tight end Ferguson in the back of the end zone. Why is Witherspoon arguing for a flag? He broke the play up, and they forced a turnover on downs. But Devin Witherspoon with a huge pass breakup in the back of the end zone. It is 31-27. The Seahawks stay in front. That is a huge red zone stand by the Seattle defense. Because the Rams moving the ball right down the field again. This drive, they started their own 10-yard line, got it all the way down to the 6. 14 plays, 84 yards. They took 7:24 off the clock. And couldn't quite put it in the end zone. I mean, that red zone stand could send the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. But we got 5 minutes to go. 4:54 to be exact. The Rams defense just got to stop. They got They got the ball to the offense, gave them the opportunity. The offense ended up coming up with nothing. Although, a great drive, even though no points. But now the Rams going to need to call on their defense again. 4:54 to go, a 4-point Seahawks lead. And the Patriots await the winner in Super Bowl 60. So they go back to the 4th down. Seahawks, they crowded the line of scrimmage and they brought the blitz. Next, they had one guy drop back. There was just nobody open. So Stafford was in a very tough spot. So 1st and 10 from the 6. The Seahawks take over. A touchdown probably ends the game. And they'll start this drive on the ground with Walker. And Kenneth Walker going to gain about 3 on the play. Getting to the 10. Actually, that's 4 yards. So from the 10, play action here. Darnold going to look to throw. Darnold throws outside for Walker. And Walker makes the guy miss, still on his feet, has the 1st down. Breaks another tackle when he's out of bounds, across the 20 to 25. Stays inbounds the entire time, not even close to the sideline. I don't know why I said out of bounds. But a really good move right there by Walker. A couple times. Able to break tackles in 16 yards. .340 to go. Here's a handoff. Walker up the middle. This time he's knocked down after a gain of 3. Jared Verse trips him up. 3:24 to go. It is 2nd and 8. 3:26 to go in the 4th quarter. Although I think the Rams called their first timeout after that previous play. Yeah, the Rams called their first timeout. It's the first timeout either side spent in the second half. So 2nd and 8 from the 27. 3:26 to go. Darnold, play action. Darnold throws sideline. It is incomplete. Looks like Wake might have gotten that a little bit early. But there's no flag and it's 3rd down. And that's also a big one because it stops the clock with 3:20 to go. Without the Rams having to use a timeout. I'd like to see a replay of this. Yeah, here we go. He does get there a split second early. But no call. So 3rd and 8. Empty backfield here for Sam Darnold. And now with the play clock winding down, we got a timeout called by the Seahawks. That's their first. So each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 31-27. We got 3 minutes to go. 3:20 to be exact. Each team with now 2 timeouts and a big 3rd and 8 upcoming. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A huge opportunity for the Rams defense right here to get off the field and get a stop. Both quarterbacks have almost identical stats. They've both been so good. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns for both. It has been so fun to watch. But a huge 3rd and 8 upcoming. We got 3:20 to go. A 4-point Seahawks lead. So 3rd and 8. An empty backfield here for Sam Darnold. On 3rd down, he's 5 for 8, 95 yards, 5 first downs in today's game. Rams bring 4. Darnold throws underneath. It is going to be caught by. I think he's short. The ball comes out at the end. They're going to rule he was down first. He's very close to a first down. And they're going to move the sticks. I thought he was short. But that is very close. Durant with the tackle. This one might be worth challenging here if you're the Rams, because you might want to call a timeout anyway. Durant with good coverage, but it's caught anyway. I think you got to think about a challenge right here, depending on how close this actually was. Oh, here's a good look. Cup. Oh, he's short. You got to challenge that. McVay is going to challenge. So the Rams are going to challenge it. They call a timeout anyway, so I mean, you might as well challenge it. I think he's short. This is the look we need right down the line. He's short. I think he's short the whole way. But they're not going to challenge it. which doesn't make a ton of sense because you can call a timeout anyway, because they did. But here's a handoff. Walker, up the middle, no gain. So now the Rams call their final timeout. I don't know why you wouldn't challenge that. You don't call the first timeout, you just throw the challenge flag. Because that calls timeout right away. And if you're right, you got the timeout back, and the clock stops. So I mean, you gotta challenge it. I don't know why you wouldn't. Makes no sense. If you're the Rams, why you would not challenge it? Because I mean, they call a timeout anyway. So it's not, oh, you're wasting a timeout if you don't get it. No, you're gonna call a timeout anyway. That makes no sense why you would not challenge. So Darnold under center. Shaheed goes in motion from the 35. Darnold off play action to look to throw. Rolling right. Throwing. That is caught by Smith and Jigba. He's taken down after getting about 14 and a first down. And clock going to continue to run though. He was taken down inbounds. I'm not sure he was taken down in bounds. But Jay sends up the 10 for 155 and a touchdown. Darnold is thrown for 346 and three touchdowns. So he did step out of bounds with 3 minutes on the clock. So it's still first down. Alright, so what happened with the McVay challenge is he called timeout first, not challenging. And because he waited so long, he would have had to individually challenge it. So it would have cost him another timeout. That's what happened. So he should have just challenged it right away. Here's Walker up the middle. And Walker going to gain about 3. 2:50 to go. So 2nd and 7. 2:35 to go. Five on the play clock. They can bring it down to 2:15 before they snap it. And it'll be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Although Darnold going to throw, and he throws it as incomplete, but a flag is down. Trying to get it to JSN. I don't like throwing right there. You got to run the ball. There's a flag down in the secondary. They call defensive holding. They call it against Kobe Durant. That is a huge penalty right there. But then it gives them a first down and one more play before the 2-minute warning. So 1st and 10 from the 44. Darnold, hands off. Walker is going to gain about 4. And then he'll get pushed forward for a few extra yards. So he gains 7. So 2 minutes to go, 31-27, Seahawks lead. I mean, the Rams in a rough spot right now. Let's see. Let's do some math. There's 2 minutes left. It is 2nd and 4 right now. I mean, you got to get a stop no matter what. You can't let them get a first down, because if you let them get a first down, game's over. So 2nd and 4, let's say they're stopped at the line of scrimmage. They take 4 seconds, and that'll take you down to a minute 56. Then 40 seconds play clock. They can go down to minute 16. And then on 3rd down, they'll snap it with a minute 16. The play will take 4 seconds. That'll take you down to a minute 12. Then you can run that down to... You can run that down to a minute 12. Or sorry. You can run that down to 32 seconds before you snap it on 4th down. And then say the 4th down punt takes 10 seconds. The Rams can get it back with about 22 seconds left, best case scenario. Definitely doesn't look great. I mean, it's not impossible. It's not great, though. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Seahawks up by 4. And a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. So the Rams are out of timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. Second and 4 here for the Seahawks. A first down ends it. Darnold under center. Hands off. Walker. Stop for a loss. Lost 3 on the play. And Seahawks, they can bring it down to a minute 15. Darnold against the Rams in the regular season, 2 touchdowns, 6 turnovers. Tonight, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. And Seahawks, they call a timeout here. Minute 15 left on the clock. So the math we did pretty much correct. We said a minute 16, but same idea. 3rd and 7. Upcoming. True, do not understand the 2-minute warning. I mean, I don't really know why it's in there. I guess just to add a stoppage inside 2 minutes. Or at 2 minutes to give a team who need to stop a timeout. Or I'm not completely sure. So 3rd and 7. You probably could throw this. I wouldn't. But we've seen the Seahawks throw it a couple times on this drive. I would not completely rule throwing the football out of the question. I wouldn't do it, but It's a possibility. Darnold in shotgun back to his left. JSN goes in motion. Darnold keeps it in the option. He goes down for a huge loss. They tried to fool the Rams. It did not work, and Brandon Fisk takes him down for a huge loss. So it is now 4th down. They can take it down to 32 seconds before they snap it on 4th down. So Seattle will punt. The Rams can come all out and try to block it. They almost blocked one before. And this punt's away pretty much without any pressure. Williams calls fair catch at the 8-yard line. So the Rams will need to go 92 yards in 25 seconds with no timeouts. Is it possible? Sure, but it's not that likely. So 25 seconds left. The Rams must go the length of the field. They need to go 93 yards in 25 seconds with no timeouts. Oh, wait a minute. What just happened? Why did we just skip 1st down? Alright, so my stream jumped ahead. It's now 2nd down with 10 seconds left. So sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. How far behind was I? They're up to the 30-yard line? Okay, sorry, but I do not know what happened. But the Seahawks call their 3rd and final timeout. My guess is they probably threw a pass and spiked it. So the Seahawks called their 3rd and final timeout. Yeah, they got 23 yards from Nakua and then spiked it. So sorry that jumped ahead. I don't know why it did that. I thought I was watching it live, but apparently I was 5 seconds behind. Or maybe 15 seconds behind, who knows. But sorry about that. So 10 seconds, you probably got 2 plays. Need a miracle if you're the Rams. Stafford in shotgun got it back to his right. Stafford gonna look to throw. Stafford. It froze. Throws outside. Oh, wait, did he catch that? He didn't get out of bounds, though. Wait a minute, how do they rule he didn't get out of bounds? Nakua made the catch, but did not get out of bounds. I don't know how you ruled that right there. Nakua makes the catch. Oh, he gets taken down inbounds. His knee hit inbounds. And that's the game. Wow. So the final score 31-27. And it will be Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl. How about that? Not something anybody saw coming at the start of the season. Seahawks and Patriots. Sam Darnold is going to go to a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. Imagine telling somebody that like 3 years ago. But Darnold, a season-high 346 yards, 3 touchdowns. So it's a rematch of Super Bowl 49 between the Patriots and Seahawks 11 years later. Final score 31-27. What a game. Both quarterbacks really played insane. 374 yards, 3 touchdowns for Stafford. Darnold 346 and 3 touchdowns. JSN 10 catches for 153 yards and a touchdown. And he's actually the first Seahawk ever with at least 10 for 150 in a playoff game. But man, what a play. Or what a game. We got a rematch of Super Bowl 49 in Super Bowl 60. So what'll be Seahawks and Patriots. I mean, that should be interesting. Thank you for all. Thank you, Nick, for all the season's hard work. For all the hard work you do behind that mic. We appreciate all you do. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Really am. So, I have a lot of fun making all these videos and streaming. So, glad you enjoy it. But first thoughts on Super Bowl 60. I think the Seahawks are the better team. I think they've got the major advantage up front with their pass rush against the offensive line. We've seen the Patriots beat great defenses in the playoffs, but the Seahawks now have an offense that none of the other teams they've played have. The Chargers have no offensive line. The Texans' offense was terrible. Broncos' offense had a backup quarterback. So now you've got a much better offense the Patriots go against. Your early Super Bowl prediction is right. Wow, that's pretty good. I had Rams Broncos. Both teams made the championship game, but that's where it ended right there. But still a pretty solid bracket I had. Not terrible. Yeah, that's a great prediction. My bracket was looking really good until today. I had 3 of the 4 teams in today's games right. I had Broncos, Jaguars, not Broncos, Patriots. And I had Rams and Seahawks. But I picked the Broncos and Broncos and Rams. Of course, it was Patriots and Seahawks. But what a game. Seahawks win by 4, 31-27. And they move on to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But that should be a pretty entertaining game. I'll be streaming the Super Bowl 2 weeks from today. I can't believe the Vikings got rid of Darnold. We sold hard, yeah. Not many people saw this coming, though. I don't know anybody who picked the Seahawks to be this good. Going to the Super Bowl. Wow. Imagine telling somebody this at the start of the year. It would be Seahawks and Patriots. In the Super Bowl. I mean, I saw some people say the Patriots make the playoffs. I don't think anybody expected them to be this good. And I don't know anybody. And I mean anybody who thought the Seahawks would be this good. See you at the Super Bowl? Okay, see you then. But man, what a game. We got Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl. But that is where I'm going to end today's stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This game really made up for the earlier game. And hopefully the Super Bowl ends up being pretty entertaining. But I've got a lot of content on the way between now and then. So be sure to like this stream, subscribe. Turn notifications so you guys don't miss the Super Bowl stream or any content in between. But thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. And I'll see you guys in the next video.